Now for global business updates, Rotus Oddiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Dr. Bati. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning to all our viewers. Begin with oil. Oil edging downwards on that, I like what Rufai was saying earlier, partial ceasefire from Russia and America. Rufai, point well made. And interesting because, okay, the logic is this. If Russia stops attacking energy infrastructure in Ukraine, theoretically, if the U.S. was to take away sanctions, that's going to add more Russian barrels of oil to the markets, which are already oversupplied and would push prices down. But there was some very confusing language because the White House was saying it was supposed to be no attacks on energy, and wider infrastructure. Because, for example, a hospital was bombed in Ukraine a couple hours, 48 hours ago, but then Russia now announced it was energy infrastructure. Anyway, oil prices are down. Moving to gold, one of Dr. Bati's favorite topics, jumping past $3,000 an ounce. Of course, everybody's waiting to hear what Mr. Jerome Powell is going to be saying later on today. But gold, flown past $3,000. This is, of course, this whole safe haven trade because of all the geopolitical concerns. Asian markets were pretty mixed this morning in trading. You had the Shanghai Composite Index was down, Hang Seng was down. The Nikkei was actually, when we were actually collating the numbers, it was up, down. It was just, anyway, so we settled on it being down by 0.01%, which is just pretty flat. And then Kospi was up. Nifty in India up, and then the ASX 200 in Australia down as well. Some news coming out of the Asian region, of course, the Bank of Japan holding rates steady, but they did, say, look, they mentioned geopolitical concerns without mentioning Trump by name, talking about fiscal policies elsewhere impacting Japan. Japan is an export-oriented country. A lot of export-oriented companies are on the Nikkei 225 we just looked at, but the yen has done pretty well. It's at 149 to the dollar. But anyway, it's expected that there will probably be a hike, maybe, I don't know, June, July, because wages, there was another wage agreement that has been made with unions. Inflation is also pretty sticky, particularly core inflation. So, remember, they hiked rates back in January, and it's expected that they will continue might hike at the next one. But for right now, it's steady as she goes. To BYD, we're hearing from the Financial Times that China has delayed approval for BYD's Mexico plant. Again, this is the electric vehicle company in China. And this is so ironic. They're saying that they are afraid of their tech being leaked to America because of the proximity there, which is so funny since America has been restricting chip exports to China to try to delay their tech advancements. And yet BYD just blowing the doors off everyone. So the Commerce Ministry has not given BYD the approval for it yet. This plant was announced. We talked about this. We talked about how they want to build plant. In fact, a plant in Brazil, in Hungary, and this one in Mexico. It's supposed to create about 10,000 jobs and supposed to produce about 150 cars. So we'll see what happens. And then, of course, there's also the trade tensions because they are still going to be importing certain parts needed for the vehicles, which could be subject to tariffs. And it's all just, again, this is just how things get halted when your fiscal policy is up and down, confusing everybody. Moving on from there, I think we're still going to stick with cars. Nvidia had their GTC conference where Jensen Huang was talking about a number of things. I mean, the entire Nvidia ecosystem. Jensen Huang is the CEO of Nvidia. They're talking about chips. They were talking about AI. They were talking about collaborating with so many. One of the collaborations they announced was with General Motors, or GM. Here's Jensen Huang saying that Nvidia is going to be assisting them in a driverless car coming out in the future.
And so today, I'm super excited to announce that GM has selected Nvidia to partner with them to build their future self-driving car fleet. The time for autonomous vehicles has arrived, and we're looking forward to building with GM AI in all three areas. AI for manufacturing, so they can revolutionize the way they manufacture. AI for enterprise, so they can revolutionize the way they work, design cars and simulate cars, and then also AI for in the car. So AI infrastructure for GM, partnering with GM, and building with GM their AI. So I'm super excited about that.
Now, we're not going to play this entire video, but I really did want to share this with everyone. This is a video that they showed about how Nvidia, the AI chip, they mentioned Omniverse and one other piece of software that uses this really cool mapping technology to recreate real driving conditions that is going to be used in autonomous driving for the tech that they're going to be working with on GM and others. And it's narrated by Jensen Huang.
NVIDIA is accelerating AI development for AVs with Omniverse and Cosmos. Cosmos prediction and reasoning capabilities support AI-first AV systems that are end-to-end trainable with new methods of development. Model distillation, closed-loop training, and synthetic data generation. First, model distillation. Adapted as a policy model, Cosmos's driving knowledge transfers from a slower, intelligent teacher to a smaller, faster student inferenced in the car. The teacher's policy model demonstrates the optimal trajectory, followed by the student model learning through iterations, until it performs at nearly the same level as the teacher. The distillation process bootstraps a policy model, but complex scenarios require further tuning.
All right, U.S. markets are, they're essentially, oh sorry, no, before I get to U.S. markets, Google has acquired Wiz, which is a cloud cybersecurity firm, $32 billion. It is the largest acquisition that Google has made. This is for them to boost their cloud security apparatus. U.S. markets were down yesterday after 2 days in the green. They fell yesterday. Everybody's waiting to hear what Jerome Powell is going to be announcing today. It's expected to be a hold. And then for Nigeria, we reached out to Pfizer to confirm whether or not indeed they are shutting down all their commercial operations. They sent an email back to us saying that no, they're just going to be reorganizing operations, but they're still going to be remaining in Nigeria. That is our updates for today.
That's very good news. Thank you so much, Rotus.
Thank you.
Out of time, hopefully
it's a big day.
It's a big day. Oh my
Huge
goodness,
day.
a big
So
day.
much news today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.